very close to my heart. As a former child bride, I never understand how can anyone be okay with a child of any race, any country, any land. The child of God is not for sale. It's just given. But we still look the other way. And as you said, how is that even possible? Because I have come across people who think this is all made up. It's not even possible. And the sponsors you're bringing up, Hernando, one of the things I have learned following you and others is that these sponsors are actual workers who work for these sex trafficking and grooming organizations.
Hmm.
They pass no background check. They don't even ask for ID.
Hmm.
There is no question asked. Oh, here's the address, here's the phone number, get this kid to them.
Hmm.
And as you said, a lot of them are illegals themselves. They don't have documentation. We don't know who they are. And these kids, as you said, are being abused, sold, groomed every day. Their childhood is being taken away from them. While we make sure we pay our taxes and we're good citizens and we'll look the other way and just wait for the next time until it's fixed. And
Hmm.
let me ask you this. You've done
Sure.
this for a while. You have seen way more than I have, especially at the border. Is there a simple solution to the border crisis right now?
The answer is yes. Um, we don't need immigration reform. That's a lie. We have thousands of immigration laws already on the books. Unfortunately, the laws are not being exercised. So the fix is really simple. I mean, Biden could fix it tomorrow with one signature. He signed these executive orders, these EOs on February 4, 2021. That's the day one of the invasion started. Uh, so the answer is yes, we could fix this problem. We don't need immigration reform. We need immigration enforcement. There's no enforcement because the left doesn't want to enforce it. They're fine with women being raped along the way, and people dying in the jungles, and men getting drowning in the rivers. Over 700 800 people die coming to this country every year. So the left is fine with that because they have a different agenda than ours.
Imagine that. Biden could fix this in a moment, but he chooses not to. And we all sit and believe when the left comes running to cameras and say, hey, we were trying to fix the border. It was the Republicans who stopped the bill. And they won't mention that the bill was about to give millions to Ukraine and basically had nothing to do with the main problem. But they will run and say that. And sadly, Hernando, average
Hmm.
Americans will take that as fact. Just because some mainstream media said it, then it's the truth,
Hmm.
and they move on to the next shiny object that mainstream media is going to throw at.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am no lawyer. I'm not going to sit here and claim I know the entire system of law and order in America. But one thing I do know is, um, as you said, there are laws, and if they were enforced, we wouldn't have these problems. Let me ask you this. The local government in Texas or San Antonio, even smaller, in what are they doing about these problems? Are they doing anything?
Well, when you say locals, I'm assuming you're meaning the counties, the sheriffs.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, because the main cities in Texas, and I didn't notice until I moved here. I moved here 9 years ago from New York City. I was a refugee asylum like you were, but I escaped New York for political reasons. And uh, I know you escaped, Iran, but uh, the cities here are all Democratic control, leftist. My San Antonio, where I lived, is a leftist city. Uh, Houston, Dallas, Austin is the mecca of leftism. So that's the bad news. The good news is that even though these cities are run by leftists, the uh, the politicians, the governor, and the state representatives are usually more on the conservative side. They're more centralized, so it brings a little bit of uh, it brings it to the middle. But we're ready. We might be losing Texas very soon. Ted Cruz is about to run, and he's only one has 1 point difference with his competitor, just 1 point. So the Texas is turning purple. But to answer your question, the counties along the southern border have predominantly always voted Democrat. A few of those counties have turned red. They voted Republican the last election season. So there's hope because they're seeing that the Democrats are not doing anything to help them, you know. But there are a couple of counties that are still blue, like Eagle Pass. You know, Eagle Pass was in the news last month, right? That's a progressive blue Democratic town, and they weren't happy that we were there. Even the sheriff is and the chief police there are Democrats. So, you know, you have these pockets where you still have a lot of Democrats